Well, another basketball season has come to an end. Predictably so. Not for their efforts against North Carolina. One, I didn't really watch the game too much because I was working, but two, they weren't supposed to win. And, they tried, at least, and whatever. So, they made the tournament, won a game, and, on paper, if you didn't really take a look at the season too much, seems like a pretty successful season compared to Kentucky, compared to even really Kansas to an extent, or compared to teams that didn't make the tournament like Michigan. It's, not a terrible time. But you look at all the expectations that were upon this team, ranked number 4 in the nation, led a huge senior class. And come Selection Sunday, most people weren't even confident that they were going to be in the tournament. They almost didn't make it. So where did it all go wrong? Well, a lot of points that we're going to talk about today. Most of my discrepancies against this team I've talked about in previous videos. So I'll kind of highlight some of those points again and kind of go a little more in-depth to it. But, just inconsistency from the seniors. That's the first one that I'm going to say, is inconsistency from the seniors. The only senior that really put up a consistent season was Tyson Walker. You could make a case for Malik Hall, but Hall took a while to wake up. But when he did, he was playing some good games, and he had a really good season, I think, overall. But A.J. Hoggard, he was very inconsistent. One day he'd be scoring 15 points, getting a ton of assists. The next day he would go cold until garbage time. And would still, even with those performances, those bad ones, he would still get garnered 30, 35 minutes a game, which I just think is terrible. When he's turning the ball over, when he's missing shots, when he's being a ball hog and not, passing it to his players, that kind of thing. Like, that's just stupid, AJ. What are you doing? And then there's Jaden Akins. My God, Jaden, what in the world? Same thing. Again, he would have like an 18-point game, and then he'd go cold again. And more times than not, he was going cold. He's supposed to be our sharpshooter, but he's not even the highest three-point field goal percentage player on our team. Same thing. He would fumble a lot of handles with the ball. He would would turn the ball over. He would brick shot after shot after shot after shot. He'd get fouls, and he wouldn't be in the game. At least Izzo kind of tried to get him on the bench more to somewhat punish him or somewhat change it around, unlike Hoggard. But, God, Akins was a kind of pretty much a letdown for most of the season. And then there's Mady Sissoko, and who, finally redeemed some of his qualities in the tournament. I think he played some of his best games of the season in the NCAA tournament, especially against Mississippi State. But my God, man, what the hell happened to you? Like, I remember watching the Kentucky and Gonzaga games last season. He put up double-doubles and was really dominant on the board. Like, where is that version of Mady Sissoko been? How many times this season did I see him get a ball and where he was underneath the basket ready for a dunk, right? How many times did I see that happen? And instead of him putting it up for a layup or putting it up for a dunk and trying to draw a foul, he'd go back down with the ball like this, and he would turn the ball over because he would be then triple covered by players trying to guard him. Like, man, you gotta have some confidence in yourself. Where did the confidence go, man? Seriously, dude. But he redeemed himself a little bit in the tournament, but I hope he's not back. I really hope he isn't. I'm sorry. There's other centers that have showed that they are better than you. Jackson Kohler, man, what a coulda, what if, coulda, shoulda type season for him with the injury over the summer, and he missed half the season pretty much, and then was sluggish getting back. He finally started to show some promise in the last few games, but never really got up to his full potential. Carson Cooper was inconsistent as well throughout the season. But, you know, he's only a sophomore. He's got time to go. And then there was Xavier Booker, one of probably the most hyped of Izzo's great freshman class that he was supposed to bring in. Another reason why they were number 4 in the country. Garrick Norman sat the entire season. They redshirted him. Jeremy Fears was doing great until some dumbasses back home decided to shoot him. What the fuck, guys? That's just not cool. Alright? He missed the rest of the season. And then Cohen Carr was Cohen Carr, Dunk City, and nothing else. He was either a boom or bust. And Cohen's got a lot of work to do with handling the ball and making shots outside of dunks. Like, he had his opening game against James Madison, he had 13 points, and I don't think he ever got back in double figures again. And it was pretty much just dunks for him after that. And terrible from the free throw line, too, which we'll get back to in a minute. But and then there was Booker. Booker was supposed to be our great guy, right? He can shoot the three. He's tall. He can get in the paint. You forgot to mention the dude weighs like 100 pounds when he's almost 7 feet tall. Meaning that any big that goes in on him, he gets flattened and is terrible on defense. And really, he was only good for like 1-3 a game. Like, really, that was it. And that was like all he could really do on offense. Like, he could shoot the three, but they tried to make him an inside guy, and it just wasn't working out for him. And and I get he's a freshman, and it took a long time, but he finally started to prove himself a little bit later on in the season, and he earned more playing time as a result. And quite honestly, he put himself in a good starting position, which was good. I was glad to see that. So that was good. But otherwise, man, it was just colossal stuff with him. But he said he's coming back next season, which is really good. We're going to need him. He's going to be good. If he gets some more size on him, kind of works on his inside game a little bit more, while also keeping on going with the three, he will be really good next season, and I have faith in him. Cooper and Kohler will also be, I think, really good next season. And Izzo's got another center coming in, too, recruit-wise. Which was, you know, there you go. So, but please, and this gets to my second point. So I talked about the seniors. I really just like the returning guys being letdowns for much of the season. And then there was the three-point shooting. I mean, what the hell? We made 2 threes in our first 2 games. Seriously? What the hell? That is just unacceptable, especially when they're both at home. That's just unacceptable. The three-point shooting was just, it really didn't get too much better. I mean, some games they were good, some they weren't. But overall, it was just a really down season for them from the three-point line, which was really, really disappointing. And then the third reason that I want to touch on is Izzo. I think he's I don't want him gone like most Spartan fans did for much of the season. But dude, get in the damn transfer portal. I don't give a shit about your boomeristic perspectives on, oh, the transfer portal NIL is ruining college basketball. It's also tainting your career. Like, ever since Cassius and Tillman left and COVID, you've been ass, okay? Compared to what you were before COVID, you've been ass. Alright, Bingham wasn't it. Alright. Fucking Madi Sissoko wasn't it. Like, recruiting just isn't what it was. Because the transfer portal and NIL have fucked it all up. And you gotta adapt or get the hell out of here, Izzo. I don't want you to leave. So get in the damn portal. Get somebody to back these guys up. Fucking Terrence Reed is going to the transfer portal. He's done leaving Michigan. Fuck that guy when he was at Michigan. But if he comes here, don't fuck him. He's going to be good. And he can have experience. And he can provide some excitement, energy. Maybe it's not always about just developing from within. Sometimes you got to bring in some. Look at fucking Illinois. Half their 90% of the fucking rosters transfer portals, and they're still dancing while your ass is sitting at home. And it was just super apparent during the season, especially in the paint. They got killed in the paint. Iowa killed them. Arizona killed them. Fucking Illinois somewhat killed them. North Carolina killed them. Wisconsin, Purdue. It was just embarrassing to watch these bigs get flattened game after game after game after game. And nothing we can do to stop it. Other than foul. And even then, they're going to make their free throws. Which we couldn't do. Tyson Walker, you were supposed to be like automatic from the free throw line. And you were very, very inconsistent from the free throw line this season. Cohen Carr was bad from the free throw line. Sissoko was bad. They're all bad. Now, there were some highlights. I mean, they had a really rough start to the season, but they had some good wins. They beat Baylor in Detroit. That was a really fun game to go watch. Illinois at home. That was a really good game. Very intense game, too. But they got that big win. They swept Michigan, finally, after years of splitting the season series with the home games. So that was nice to see. And then a few other things. Trey Holland was definitely, I think, the most improved player on the season. That dude's going to be a baller next season with him, Fears, Norman, and probably, I hope, Akins in the backcourt. Like, we know Walker's gone. We know Hall is gone. We know that Hogarth's probably gone too. Sissoko, I think, will be gone. And so that leaves, and I think, a lot of people think that Akins is going to leave. Akins is a junior right now. I don't think he should leave. I don't think he's going to get very highly drafted in the NBA because he's just super inconsistent, especially with the shooting. And I think that another year, especially with him as the lead guard pretty much, with Hogarth and Walker gone, would help him out very much. Also, Steven Izzo finally getting his first real collegiate points was a cool thing to watch in person against Rutgers. That was cool. So I definitely liked watching that. Finally actually making the damn tournament and extending the streak. I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to make everything that happened, the colossal collapse to start the season and to end it. They had a good middle, but the start and the end were terrible. And you just want to make the tournament. And they did. So it's just a failure of a season, though. Like, you were ranked number 4 start the season, and you didn't even get out of the first weekend again. Like, and there's nobody to blame but yourselves. Sorry, but maybe it was some of these seniors leaving. Some other guy's gonna step up. Maybe we'll see some change next season. So, and Oakland lost too. Fuck. I was rooting for Oakland. Now who do I root for? I don't know. All I know is, go get 'em, Tigers.